It's a former State Department advisor under Bush 43, and now the president, Christian White. And Christian, what do you make of these developments? We won't know until we do it, too, which is less than 2 hours from now. But the president, I'm not saying he's walking a middle ground, because walking away from the deal would be walking away from the deal, and many published reports are telegraphing that. But it's how he would walk away from it, and not piling onto it with additional sanctions and the rest, which is the kind of stuff that eases market jitters. I know that shouldn't be integral to what he does ultimately, but what do you make of that?
Well, I think his tone will be professional and presidential. You know, when he walked away from the Paris Act, the Climate Change Act, which is a very good thing to walk away from, he was very careful to say, hey, if the Europeans want to come and offer some concessions or offer a different deal, then we'll talk. With the Trans-Pacific Partnership, another good thing to walk away from. He came back and said recently that we might be willing to enter negotiations. So I think you'll see a conciliatory gesture or two today from the president if he pulls out as expected. As for sanctions, it's actually important that those go back on. I mean, that is what really caused pain for Iran in the first place, got them to the negotiating table. Unfortunately, they were sort of bargained away flippantly. But some sanctions that will just stop our allies and respectable countries from buying Iranian oil will help stop Iran benefiting from the big windfall.
But see, I wonder about that, Christian, because let's say we're going to do this. I'm betting you that the French, the Germans do not. And so if I'm Iran and I'm sort of counting my chits here, I'm saying, well, I've already got my billions of dollars. I've gotten the pallets of cash. I've gotten all of that stuff. So the Americans are going to get tough with me, but they're not going to be able to lead an international consortium to agree. So I'll take my lumps and deal with this guy.
Right. Well, of course, we're not alone on this. Much of the Middle East has been aghast at the conciliation of Iran and wants a tougher posture. But what Trump has done...
No, to that point, do you think the French and the Germans and others who signed on to this will redo it themselves? In other words, if President Trump wants to, you know, tear it up and start from scratch, that they will? Because I don't envision that. But maybe,
I think a lot of people are overestimating the importance of France and Germany. I think they'll come along because they have to. What Trump has done in so many instances is discover levers of power that we've had and hadn't used. And in this case, it's the dollar as a reserve currency. Oil is traded in dollars, even if it never touches the United States. And by putting sanctions on the central bank of Iran, was just reminded of this by a Hill staffer, by putting those sanctions on, it makes it very difficult for businesses and companies and countries who are respectable, and even some who aren't, from doing business with Iran. They'll end up selling the oil. They'll sell it to China, but they'll have to sell it at a big discount.
You know, as you said, I mean, and this has been a president who's shown some pragmatism when it comes to trade deals, but ultimately sort of wincing at the idea that they were made in the first place. So there's a way of ripping one up versus fixing it, or delaying the changes, or revisiting, let's say, NAFTA. You know, I know there are differences with each and all. But what do you think this signals for talks with North Korea?
I think this is good. A lot of the conventional wisdom in this town was, oh, if you throw away this deal, then how are you going to get one with North Korea? Right. But actually, I think if you look deeper in history, it's a tough posture. It's a confident president that's better. Some have said, and this has been ridiculed by others, but actually by firing the air traffic controllers, Ronald Reagan really got the attention of the Soviets. And he would do so again when he walked away from a pretty big nuclear deal at Reykjavik. The Soviets essentially offered to give up much of their strategic arsenal, but they wanted strategic defense initiative, missile defense instead, for us to forego that ability to defend our own people from ballistic missiles. Willingness to walk away, toughness. If you're talking to, you know, people at the Kennedy School or at the Center for the Council on Foreign Relations, their view of negotiation is sort of to make preemptive capitulations and go nice. But you know, this tougher posture, I think that is what Kim Jong-un will understand, and it actually helps with North Korea.
You know, there's a very dramatic display at the Reagan Library of what you just spoke of, Chris, where that was like a quick add-on that the president was unaware of, where the Soviets are saying, and of course you, United States, will, you know, stop this whole, you know, space initiative thing. And Reagan had no idea, or that was the understanding, had no idea. And he said, well, that's it. And he really was walking away until they said, no. So we'll see what happens here. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks. Great to be here.